What? Excuse me, what? So this is very strange news. Imagine delivering like one of the most successful games of its type in its category in years. Well, let's say of modern gaming, of a live service game. You get fired. I mean, Rivals has made a lot of money. So what the hell is going on here? Well, on the face of it, it's like the game director has been sacked along with his team. Now, this is a very complex situation. We're going to go through it because actually there's two game directors, or I guess there's one now. But the way this game was made is you had a team in Seattle who were like the technical advisors, basically laying down the foundations for the work. And then I believe what was happening is over in China, NetEase were actually delivering on those things. And obviously the game's got to a point it's launched. And that team over in China is the big team producing the game. But the American team over in Seattle, part of Anchor Point Studios, were basically coming up with the features and all of that stuff. And they've just been fired. It makes no sense because how much money is this game making, right? Surely you keep these people around. They literally were integral to your game's development. But let's just go for this. It's so odd. It's so odd, this is. Like, I mean, who would be a game developer? Like, literally, what is going on? Anyway, this is from Dexerto, and they say Marvel Rivals developer NetEase has laid off most of the game's team in the US, including its director. Despite Marvel Rivals continuing to be one of the most played multiplayer games out there, they've chosen to cut down their workforce by laying off their entire Seattle office. Now, of course, this could be, you know, Trump trade war things and all of that going on in the background as well. Who really knows? But still, it's a very odd decision. Rivals has been praised for transparency from its developers, with many team members in China doing their absolute best to give the community updates on the game and insights into their balance changes, which is true, they totally have. Season 1.5 has also been well received already, with players excited to get their hands on the Human Torch and the Thing. But it isn't all good news for NetEase, as they've chosen to completely shut down their Seattle division, part of the game studio Anchor Point. So this is Anchor Point's website. There's not much here. It's just your standard like, hey, we're game developers and yeah, we've got a crazy slogan and we love it, right? And they're a new NetEase game studio, although apparently not anymore because I think most of these guys have been let go. But yeah, sad times. So let's go into this because it's really odd. So game director Thaddeus Sasser announced on LinkedIn that he, along with his entire Seattle team, has been suddenly cut. So we're going to go over to LinkedIn here and take a look at what he says. And this is Thaddeus. And holy hell, that is a bright page. It's too late for this. Anyway, this is such a weird industry. My stellar talented team helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase Games. And we were just laid off. Oh well, times are tough all over. Let's find these incredible people new jobs because we all need to eat, right? Today I'm going to start with the inspiring Gary McGee. During the course of the project, Gary was fantastic to work with. This is a highly technical designer, currently working in level design, but I've seen his passion project, who is a proactive problem solver. A lot of our time on the project was spent as a sort of R&D branch. See, this is where it gets interesting. Coming up with new level design mechanics, gameplay mechanics, and so on. Gary was a key part of those efforts. His technical ability, proactivity, and passion for game development and problem solving were a huge asset to the team. Gary doesn't wait for a problem to slow the team down. He finds a way around it or through it. Early in his time at our Seattle studio, he developed level design tools and gameplay mechanics that I can't tell you about because they belong to NetEase. But they greatly accelerated the team and often enabled the team's progress. On top of it, he's a nice person too. He holds some strong, wrong opinions on video games. He's highly competitive in a good way, and he's got a lot of deep thoughts and philosophies on life, making him an excellent team member and the kind of guy you look forward to talking to every day. Gary, I'm kidding about the wrong opinions. Don't come for me in the comments. Basically, this is the TLDR. If you need a gameplay designer for, obviously, the TLDR about Gary, highly technical, scripting in C#, knows multiple game engines, proactive, kind, intelligent, driven, and committed. You should talk to Gary. He's great. But I think the key thing here from this post is obviously it's not great. You know, they're announcing they've been let go. But this is the interesting thing. It's like they were used as a research and development branch, and they came up with level design mechanics, gameplay mechanics, and so on. And it's almost like the research and development has ended. So NetEase are very ruthlessly just gone, nah, we don't need these guys anymore. Get rid of them. I think it's a bit insane given how successful the game is, because surely you'd keep them around, you know, in case they come up with more features, or you could use them to workshop more features, right? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Anyway, it's no secret that the gaming industry has been wrapped by layoffs in recent years, even with the biggest studios opting to cut the size of teams working on their projects or just closing down entirely. Marvel Rivals developer NetEase is no different. Despite the games consistently pulling hundreds of thousands of concurrent players on Steam alone, not even counting other platforms, their Seattle studio has been shuttered. Director Sasa posted on LinkedIn confirming the news, taking a few subtle jabs at the people who laid him and his team off, which, of course, we've just been through. He gave a lengthy endorsement for a now former co-worker. Jack Burrows, another former NetEase employee, posted about the news saying, "Was an enormous pleasure to work with my American co-workers who joined me in this sad culling. Just couldn't dodge that big boot, I guess, no matter how big the success of the gig." It isn't clear yet how these layoffs will affect the game's development going forward, nor has the reason behind these layoffs been made public at this time. Additionally, it's not yet known how big this set of layoffs is and whether or not Anchor Point is still working on other projects. At the time of writing, their site still has job listings, but only for the Barcelona branch. So maybe they've just got rid of the Seattle branch and the studio is still active in some regards. What I do want to show you is this, though. So this is where things get confusing, because you may have seen Guang Chen in the Dev Vision videos and giving interviews all over the place. So this is Guang, as he's known, and he is the game director. But there is also content out there with Thaddeus listed as the game director. It's odd. It's almost like they had two game director positions. One was sort of like the research and development game director, the incubator game director, if you will, and the other was the actual game director of the team who was making sure stuff got implemented into the game. It's a very weird situation, this is. I think, though, whichever way you look at this, the fact that Rivals have actually got rid, I mean, it's not just Rivals, right? It's NetEase, have got rid of staff, which I can't imagine is too expensive to keep them in place. I don't know how big the team was at Anchor Point working on this, but even if it was 20 people, that surely can't be that difficult for a company the size of NetEase to keep active, unless there's just some other issue that they are trying to deal with. Whether it's, I mean, I'm not up to speed on this, I'm just throwing these out, it's mad conjecture, but maybe it's some sort of tariff-related thing that could come into effect. Maybe it's some sort of pressures, government pressures. I don't know, like, all these issues could play into this, but I think it is sad because clearly, and like I said at the top of this video, why the hell would you be in this industry if it's an industry where even if you perform way above any kind of key performance indicators that were, laid on top of you, you still get sacked? Like, what is that? If you work at your job and you deliver, but you over deliver, you get rewarded. You don't get sacked. That is just it's I'll be honest, guys, it's the insanity of the gaming industry, and it is just crazy. Because if a game like Marvel Rivals is not immune to getting, you get your ass fired because you've performed well, then literally nothing is immune, because this has been a massive success of a game. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's an interesting topic. I just wanted to make a quick video and throw this out because, yeah, the game director has effectively been sacked, but there's also another game director, and it's just a very weird situation. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video, or just this video. I guess I'll put another video out today. Maybe I'll make another video later. Who knows? But I'll catch you lovely lot on the next video. See you soon.